spirits, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your November forecast. And for you, when the month starts out, Venus, your ruler, is going to be in a debilitated energy still. It's still sitting in Virgo. And Mars is in Virgo, and they're conjunct, and they're opposing Chiron in Pisces. So you are thinking a lot about coping methods, and you're thinking a lot about work routines and health routines and mental well-being routines. And Chiron is really bringing up a lot of stuff that's asking you some pretty tough questions about what is your part in all of this? Like, what part do you play in your life as it stands to get it healthy and to get it aligned? So on the 2nd, Venus in Virgo aligns with Mars in Virgo, and this is all going to be happening in your 5th house. And when this happens in your 5th house, this is all about looking at things that are heart-based and that provide you pleasure. So I want to say that many of you are going to be looking at some of your coping methods as far as in pleasure seeking. Often when a Taurus gets bored, some of their pleasure seeking can be wandering eyes, or the need to get attention. Attention's a big thing that you guys do. If you feel like you're not being appreciated where you're at, then you go off and you try to seek attention from others to get that source of validation. And so you're going to be taking a look at that. In fact, I think Chiron in Pisces opposing this entire event is going to be very specific for you to understand your role in it, how ego has played in it, what it has done to your life up till now, and how do you stop doing it and get balance and control over the situation. Then on the 8th, I'm happy to say that Venus moves into Libra in your 6th house. So this allows you to balance out as Mars is conjunct, still working in Virgo energy. So we're still trying to get control over our coping methods. You are starting to become incredibly interested in balancing out your lifestyle, balancing out your routines, balancing out this all because there could be a very significant partnership that may be motivating you to want to make these changes, or somebody is working with you that is really adding to the need to make these changes. And so a very motivating person, by the way. And I think you want to move forward with this person, and they've been through a lot with you. And I think that you just know that they have something to give your life and you have something to give them. I think you're feeling very valued by this person. And this balancing thing is the key. Then we have a new moon on the 11th, which is in Scorpio for you. This is in your 7th house. And a new moon is a new beginning. And Scorpio energy is about transformation, usually. It's about new beginnings. It's about rebirth. I mean, it could be about endings and very negative things, but not in this energy. We are having a beautiful and very uplifting new moon. We haven't really had a really wonderfully aspected new moon in quite some time. So your ruler, Venus, is in a really wonderful mood because it's in an energy that it likes. It's going to be conjunct with Mars and Virgo, so you're working through things with somebody that's really allowing you to, is really putting, making your confidence go up as you start to tackle some of these things that you honestly, I think, feel that you can do. I mean, I know that you are challenged, and I know that your follow through is something that you're thinking you may not be able to do, but for right now, you're feeling pretty good. So then Saturn, during this new moon, is in a delicious mood. It's sextiling this event. And so Saturn is broadening your perspectives, opening you up to new theories about how to tackle some of this stuff, making you, it's making you, I think sometimes when you're a Taurus, you get so regimented and so stuck in your own way. And I think that when you have Saturn going in here and sextiling a new moon, a new beginning, I think that this is a time where you may feel very, very deeply intimate with a partner, not just physically, but emotionally, very connected with this person. And this person is really making you believe in different outcomes, which I think is wonderful. I think you know that you're starting to build things slowly, and that's okay. Planting a seed and tending to the seed is sometimes the start of a new beginning, and that's okay as well. Then on the 12th, Mars moves into Libra. So this is more Libra energy. You do really well in Libra energy because it is a fellow Venus energy. So Venus is going to be in Libra. And then Mars moves into Libra. So and this is all happening in your 6th house. So this is about, honestly, we're talking about some more balance. We're talking about looking at our coping methods. We're talking about finding ways to find inner peace when you feel anxiety, stress, overwhelmed, and restless. There is something that is making you feel that way right about now. And it could potentially shake up a situation. I want to say that you're in your head too much during at this moment, and you're having regrets or guilt over something, and I don't want you to get stuck. Look, you're highly intuitive, and you're very receptive to energy. And I don't know, maybe you're disappointed because over an issue regarding children, or the fact that you can't have children, or the fact that you've been trying and you've been having a hard time having kids. Or maybe perhaps some of the problem is that you deeply feel passionate about something having to do with children, and all this forward energy is moving you away from something to do with kids. And that can be unsettling for you, right? That can be something that is providing you with a little bit of anxiety and remorse and guilt, and it's making you rethink things a little bit. Then on the 16th, we have the Sun and Scorpio lines with Mercury and Scorpio. All of this is going to be happening in your 7th house. So when the Sun in Scorpio aligns with Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Libra is going to be conjunct Mars in Libra, and they're going to be about 7 degrees apart. And today is where the energy starts to shift. We start to see it right about now. And for you, okay, so Mars is, when it's in Libra, it's incredibly pleasure seeking, right? It wants to feel good. It wants to feed its pleasurable senses. And you are a very extravagant and self-indulgent creature when you want pleasure. And sometimes you often will go out and seek pleasure despite the ramifications sometimes. And so this isn't going to sit well with a potential partnership. And perhaps it's something that you, it's like you can't get something out of your head. And you feel like you need to be maybe going in a different direction, but you seem to be very steadfast in, you're making a decision. You're making a decision in a partnership. And you have to take a look at, are you making healthy decisions based on healthy unions that provide you balance and positive coping methods, but that's not as invigorating as and exciting as an opportunity that could provide you with children and a different outcome, and maybe close to your children, or maybe I think this is when ego starts to get away with you, and you start to get lost in old self-sabotaging patterns, and anxiety starts to spin you up, and you start to go through imbalance, and so I think you're going to struggle when the sun is in Scorpio and it's aligning with Mercury. This is about I think you're trying to manipulate a situation. You're trying to get what you want, and you're becoming a little bit obsessive, and you're starting to feel like it should be going your way. And I think that intuitively you feel like something's off, and I think you're just trying to figure that out, and that's okay. That you'll figure all this out. The end of the month is much like this, so don't worry about it. And then on the 18th, Neptune goes direct, and Neptune in Pisces is going to be conjuncting Chiron in Pisces. And this is a beautiful energy. I really like this. This is going to make you, now I really want you moving forward from about the 16th on to really connect with your intuition. I want you to pay attention to your senses. You are going to be getting messages that are highly intuitive messages that come to when you're dreaming. Now, I don't think they're going to feel necessarily great. Some of the messages that you get, or some of the worries that you get, or the revelations that you get, you'll like wake up and you'll feel off. And I think that's worth exploring, because that is when it's not about ego at that point. It's dredging up old wounds or old past things that you need to resolve, and it's aligning yourself with what Spirit wants from you and how you should progress. Then on the 20th, Mercury moves into Sagittarius, and so this is, I like this energy. It's a little more optimistic. It's you know, you do have a strong vision that you want. Okay, so you have in your head an idealistic picture, because with all this Neptune energy, you got a glimpse of what you deeply want. And I think that what happens is then you really, when you fixate and you want what you want, it can be very difficult to do what you have to do in this scenario, because you're so focused on doing what you want. So all this stuff is going to be happening in your 8th house. And when this happens in your 8th house, because you are having this realization on the 16th through the 18th in your relationship house, which is the 7th house, and then on the 20th, you start dipping into your 8th house. This is about either getting a hold of some advices that are ego-based. This is about following your intuition and trusting your intuition and trusting your gut instincts and trusting that you are a person to be valued, and that your decision making, you got to start trusting your decision making skills. Don't let others guide you into believing that they know what's best for you. You know what's best for you, because you are getting signals telling you what's best for you. You don't need, yes, you got to make sure that they're not ego-based, but I think you're not going to be an ego-based person. You are going to be filled with intuitive energy and messages that you're going to decipher. And just to let you know, so we have all this intuitive buzzing going around inside of you, and it's asking you some tough questions, because I think you're at a crossroads and you need an arrow pointing you in a direction. And then what I think is happening after this is that when Mercury dips into Sagittarius and all this energy starts going into Sagittarius, that's about elevating your thinking, and that's about taking all of this knowledge, all of this information that we're receiving, and taking it to the next level. So give yourself some time, let it resonate, and let it process this month. what's ego, what's desire, what's destined, what's intuitive. Like, you got some thinking to do. So, then on the 23rd, the sun moves into Sagittarius, and this is going to be happening in your 8th house. So Venus in Libra is going to be sextiling Saturn in Sagittarius. Very helpful energy. Anytime you have Saturn in a good mood with your planet, and look at Libra energy and Saturn energy work really well together. So these two can have conversations, these two energies can have conversations, and it's very easy for them to get on the same page. And because you're so interested in a good outcome, you really are opening yourself up to this new perspective. So this is about overcoming bad habits. This is about feeling sensual and creative again, and you're preparing for a big change in your life, and you're very passionate and vulnerable in this energy to all of this new stimuli. Now, that's not to say that some of this isn't going to cause anxiety and stress and uneasiness and indecisiveness, because it will, because it's intuitive responses to information from sources that are inundating you, but there's still an ego-based desire in everybody that we got to tackle, right? And you have a pattern. You've been caught in some detrimental patterns, and so you've got to break free of those patterns as well, and that takes time. So you can be patient because you're in an evolutionary process in this 8th house work. So then on the 24th, Mercury in Sagittarius aligns with Saturn in Sagittarius. Now, Venus in Libra, your ruler, is going to be in opposition, square, and quincunx with Uranus and Pluto and Chiron. So this is where I think we start to feel a tremendous change is absolutely necessary. A decision needs to be made. It's about releasing your ego. It's about staying in balance, but it's about releasing you from whatever is hurting or holding you down or making your heart not aligned with the partnership that you're in. And so I think what you're having to do is this a partnership based on ego, right? So things that would make a partnership based on ego are monetary value, looks, whether or not they can get you the social status you acquire, possessions, that sort of stuff. And is it just raw, pure love? And I want to say that right now, the relationship that you're focusing on and the intuitive message that you're receiving is that you're focusing on the wrong relationship. Or you're focusing in your relationship, you're focusing on the wrong things. And so it's causing problems in your relationship. And it's you're having to let go of some of your ego to regenerate or be a really good partner in this relationship. Then finally, on the 25th, we have a full moon in Gemini. All of this is going to be happening in your 2nd house. And Venus, again, is still coming up against all this energy. Uranus and Aries energy, Pluto and Capricorn, and Chiron and Pisces. So this is about ego. This is about an ending, an accumulative energy of some sort where I think you were very passionate about an outcome. But I think you were focusing on the wrong things, and this is about letting go of all of that, and this is about going back to the heart. This is about uniting and generating a healthy partnership based on emotional desire, and it deeply feels good and feeds your soul. So you've got to let go of monetary gain and possessions and partnering with somebody based on what they can tangibly give you. And you've got to really, I think the way that you're going to be happy and moving forward and sustained in relationships is just at a full on heart. You can build monetary gain, right? You can build social status with somebody, but they can't feed your heart if it's not about love. Like if it's about monetary gain. So you need to make some decisions about releasing some of this yearning for, I just think you're passionate about the wrong things. And I think this month is going to reveal that to you. There's a lot of lovely energy, not a tough reading whatsoever for me. I feel that this month is going to be beautiful and stimulating, heart-based. It's going to be transformative, and it's in general a gorgeous month. We've had such tough months, and I've been so sad to give them to you, but I'm so happy that the energy is changing. And we're all about opening up our hearts and our minds, and we're about being confident. We're action-oriented now. We have fire and stamina to keep us going. All of the energies are moving out of debilitated energies and going into energies where they complement each other. So this is about very progressive, happy, wonderful energy. And I know I brought up the end of the month as being challenging, and it is, but it's to realign you know, and get your heart in the right direction. Look, you deserve emotional fulfillment on all 5 senses, right? I mean, it's really great to be in a relationship where it gives you monetary gain and social status and you have that. But what about being like so connected with somebody that they just make you freaking happy to be here? Anyhow, guys, you know, oh, and I do want to say that for many of you, this is about getting back to all this Venus and Libra energy could mean about resolving maybe a litigation that you're having over child support or child issues. It could mean about something that you're super passionate about, just redefining it progressively because maybe you were off kilter. Venus energy means a lot. And when it's in Libra, it's connected to, I mean, I think it's ideally connected to partnership energy. Partnerships are going to be emphasized. And even if you're not in a partnership, you are probably may start to feel like something's in your ear telling you to start getting back out there and getting love back in your life and feeling realigned with your heart, because honestly, a happy Taurus is the most beautiful energy out there. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.